I wanted to come on here real quick and just share my story of the desktop calendar and how I started journaling every day and why I use a desktop calendar to create art. Let's see, I'll show you. This is what I'm talking about, if you don't know what I'm talking about. So I use just a standard plain old paper desktop calendar, and I do a process I call paint gazing on almost every day. I skip some days, but it's my private journaling practice. And so each day I put down paint, I define what I see in there, and then I interpret it for a message for my day moving forward. I also do that for a living. So I wanted to kind of go back and tell the story. Someone was asking me, like, what the story, they were curious about what the story is and how I started doing this and why I do it and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to show you some of my old journals and kind of talk about my journey here. So give me 1 second to look. If you're here, say hi. Let me know in the comments whether you're watching like the replay or if you're here with me live right now. I'm just gonna double check because sometimes I have trauma for being in the past. I've done a whole live and then went back and realized it was never recording. So I'm just gonna double check. There I am. All right, cool. So if you're here, let me know. I'd like to make sure that I can see you if you say hi or whatever. If you ask questions, you're more than welcome to interrupt me and ask questions. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to run through my kind of experience. So those of you who don't know me at all, again, my name is Linda. I'm an intuitive artist. I use art as a way to connect with my divine source, and also then I translate those energies into images and then translate the images into messages so that I can it helps me navigate my life path, and then I do that for other people too. So the calendar itself, so each day a typical day for me is I'll wake up, I'll make a cup of coffee, let my dog out, Lulu, and then I think you can see down in there somewhere, and then I sit down at my desk with my calendar here, and I pick some colors. You can see the colors over here if you're what, I don't know if this is cut off or not, but over here I've got all my paints, and I pick colors, I just put them down randomly. I'm going with an intention for like, what do I need to know for the day? I paint what I see, and then I interpret what I what I discover in there. I develop the images, and then I interpret that for a message. So this started, so I've been making art like my whole life, like a lot of artists, I've been making art since I was a kid. And then in 2001, I started selling my artwork. I started working as a professional artist. After my son was born, I sold artwork on eBay. And I did that for several years until 2006. I went to school in my 30s, full-time, got my bachelor's degree in art therapy. And while I was getting my degree in art therapy, I learned a practice of visual journaling. So I have lots of little journals like this where I used a process that was like a 4-step process. So you write down an intention, you create an image, and you go back and you reflect on the image that you created. It's like a whole thing, and so I carry that into my paint gazing process also. But so like here's an example. Just doodles. Those are like scribbles and doodles, and then I write down the things that are meaningful to me. Now, what happens for me with sketchbooks and things like that is I am really great until I close the book, and then all of a sudden the book doesn't exist to me anymore. So a lot of my sketchbooks are like this, where there's just empty pages, So then I thought, okay, so here's another example of visual journaling where I was, really good for a while, and then, got really, really kept up with my practice for a while, and then it's just like empty pages. So then I thought, after years, I've been doing it for years, and I've got like all these sketchbooks with you know, they're half filled. Part of it is I see cool sketchbooks and then I need a new one, you know, that's part of it. So then I was like, well, what if I just started using like a calendar and I would just, you know, do one little square a day, right? So I started using these, and I was doing the same thing, little scribble drawings. Um, and this worked really well for me because then I could leave this open and then I could just see where I'm at with it, and then it's like bite-sized pieces. And then I actually kind of drifted from my own personal practice the busier I got, you know? Does anybody else do that? Like you know what's good for you. It's like working out, you know what I mean? And then when you drift away, it's hard to come back. So I started getting really busy with paint gazing sessions. So this is what I do for a living. I channel artwork for people. So this is a recent one. It's from a paint gazing session. This is like a mini version where you get to pick the colors, and then I channel your energy. I tune into your energy. I put the colors down. I paint what I see, and then whatever comes through me is shared with you to help you with your journey. So I do that for other people, and I do it a lot. So at a certain point, I was like, I need to do that for myself more often. And so that's when I started the calendar. So that was in 2021. And I love to tell people this, it was not the first of the month. It was not in January or anything like that, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to do that, I'm going to start that in January. I'm like, you don't have to wait. So this was the first entry, the first year I did the calendar, right here. This one with the little trees and that. It was February 28th, I think, 27th or 28th. And then I went back in and did the rest of them later. So that first year, I went through and I filled up an entire calendar. So I went back into January. So this is January. Hi Sharon, thank you. I appreciate that. A lot of these I did live. They were really fun. I would have, you know, if you've attended my lives, you get to pick the colors, and then we laugh about the stuff we're seeing and what it means and everything. So yeah, so I did a full year that first year. This is 2021. You can see these all on my website. So I sell prints of them too. So like, here's an example of the prints. You can find your month, you know, like, and there's different months, and I have a couple signed prints. You can get it, this is a whole year. You can get it on a mug. This is my favorite mug. So it's like, I don't know if it'll do the thing, but this is an entire year of images on one mug. You can get, and I have like canvas and stuff like that. So yeah, so then I've just kept doing it. Some months I complete the whole month, and some months I don't. Right? And so I like to say that I do it most days. Here's one that I think is, yeah, complete. Sometimes I get sick of painting and I want to just do a kind of a scribble drawing. So I've got some of those mixed in there, here and there. So this one is 2022. So yeah, so I did the 2021, I completed an entire set, and then ever since then I just do it most of the time. Sometimes I have to take time off. And then I just pick back up again. This is last month. This is this month, July. We just ended. So yeah, my process is I get up, I put some paint down. So that's how it's involved. It's actually my journal for me. It's I like to joke and say that, you know, I can spare a square just for myself at least, because I'm constantly painting for other people, doing portraits or paint gazing sessions and stuff like that. So I really try to make time for myself, but also it's fun. Now it's expanded where I get to like make videos and share. So you'll see on my page where I'll put the before and after, like the before pictures. So that's an invitation to you to create what you want with the same. Some days, like this one, some days I don't either have the time or the energy. If you know my story, I dealt with chronic pain and fatigue and fibromyalgia, and because I had Lyme and I have celiac and Hashimoto's and a bunch of other crap that I deal with, and so my energy levels in the past have gone up and down, and I'm learning to honor that. And so some days I just put paint down, and that's enough, you know. Some days I don't do anything, and that's enough. And some days they're really detailed and I take my time, and some days I just like outline one or two things, and it's always enough. And it's never a waste of paint. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. If you want to know more about like the paint gazing process itself, I'm working on a book. So that'll be there, but in the meantime, if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. You can just leave them in the comments or on any of my videos. You're always welcome to answer questions. If you want to see specific dates that have been painted in the past, you can look up that first year. If you go to my website, there's a search bar and you can just put the date in and you'll be able to find that. You'll be able to find the calendars if you want your own mug or whatever. If you want a paint gazing session, here's another journal entry I had set out to show you. There you go. So again, this is how they started, but you know, I'd never get to, you know, there's like half the thing. And then I wanted something specific that would hold the paint gazing, and surprisingly the paper holds up just fine. But yeah, so a paint gazing process is a 1 hour, a paint gazing process is a 1 hour, like you and I on Zoom, or if you give it as a gift certificate, whoever you give it to. And we talk, you tell me what your intentions are, you get to pick the colors, I put them down, you get where did I put it? I don't know. Sorry, Anne, I lost your painting. You get a 9 by 12 painting, which I set somewhere, but I don't know where. I wanted to show it to you, but it's a 9 by 12. It's this big. And you get the original painting, and then they also become oracle cards in the Sacred Journey deck if you opt into it. You don't have to. I always ask your permission, because if you don't want the image that we channeled together shared, that's okay. So these are examples. So I take these images and then I write a message that goes with it. And this is the Sacred Journey deck. And that's available on my site too. And so that's what a paint gazing session is. I have mini paint gazing readings where you don't have to attend a Zoom or anything like that. You can just share an intention. You can pick the colors if you want to, or you can have me pick them. Hi Luna. I do give away stuff a lot. I do a lot of free stuff. So I give away a lot, and I do a lot of like buy one get one frees and stuff like that, which I'm told I should not do as much. But maybe I'll do a giveaway of like a print. What would you like to see? Would you like a print, or a deck of cards, or a mug? What do you think would be cool? There's also like ornaments and stuff. I thought that'd be kind of a fun gift, like if you got a month, like your birthday month for somebody, you get them their like an August birthday, you get the August calendar on a hanging little ornament thing. It'd be kind of neat. Or on a mug for them. I'm gonna pull a card here. I don't know why, I had the cards in my hand, so now I'm pulling a card. All right, go within. There's a little message for you before I go. Know that you're provided for as you prepare to move forward. trust in your resourcefulness during this transition. You have all that you'll need, and the way is illuminated as desire burns brightly at your core. Connect first with divine wisdom that you may be led by love. There you go. All right, that's my signal. A whole calendar? Oh, you mean like the originals? So yeah, I keep all the originals. They go into storage. They're mine, but you can get prints. But yeah, maybe I'll do a giveaway for a print sometime. I think I have an August one. Maybe I will. All right. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day. Again, if you have questions about anything, let me know. And I will be live again soon, I'm sure. So I'll see you next time. Bye.